EastEnders viewers are certain that a fresh relationship is about to unfold for two Walford locals, though it isn't the pairing many had been wishing for. Fans of the soap believe Phil Mitchell, played by Steve McFadden, could soon embark on a new romantic storyline, which may leave his close friend Nigel Bates, portrayed by Paul Bradley, devastated. As loyal audiences know, Nigel and his separated wife Julie Bates, portrayed by Karen Henthorne, made their return to Walford not long ago after Nigel was diagnosed with dementia. Since February, following his brush with death, Phil has taken Nigel under his wing, and the longtime pals have been spending much of their time together. Yet trouble is brewing within the Mitchell household, as Phil and Julie clash over the best way to look after Nigel. On Monday, 8th September, heartbreak struck when Nigel and Julie discovered that foxes had killed their 3 chickens. Nigel soon became distressed over his fading memory, but he also started to grow wary of Julie, who kept sneaking off to make mysterious phone calls, according to Plymouth Live. Julie tried to calm her husband by explaining the call was about a possible job opportunity, yet the exchange resurfaced painful memories as she mentioned her previous affair. Wanting a break from the tension at home, Nigel and Phil spent the day out in the countryside, leaving Julie behind to feel sidelined and uneasy about their growing closeness. Ahead of her upcoming job interview, Julie is riddled with anxiety, though her mood improves when Phil and Nigel step in to support her preparation. Could this mean the trio are finally moving forward? Even with the ongoing friction between Phil and Julie, some EastEnders followers believe a love twist is on the way, as their connection seems to strengthen during Nigel's struggles. On Reddit, one fan remarked, "Julie and Phil can't stand each other, so honestly, once Nigel passes, they'll probably end up together." Someone else added, "I can honestly imagine it leading to a single night of passion brought on by their shared sorrow before Julie disappears for good." On X, one viewer pleaded, "Please no, not Julie and Phil," while another quickly replied, "Knew it would happen." Another fan raved, "I'm obsessed with the scenes between Julie and Phil." EastEnders fans predict death of fan favourite amid dark blackmail storyline. EastEnders viewers are growing anxious for the safety of two beloved characters as a chilling blackmail plot kicks off following tonight's explosive cliffhanger. The soap delivered yet another intense episode as the aftermath of Zoe Slater's shooting unfolded. Jack Branning accidentally fired the gun during a struggle with Ravi Gulati, leaving fans convinced that further heartbreak lies ahead. So far, the shocking secret has been kept from the rest of Albert Square and the authorities, although Ravi spilled the truth to Jack's partner Denise Fox in last night's installment, sparking immediate turmoil. Racked with guilt, Jack confessed everything to Denise, and this evening, events spiraled even further. The firearm first resurfaced when Jack's nephew Oscar discovered it in the square, but Ravi later broke into Jack's home in an attempt to steal it back. In the chaos, Zoe was the one caught in the crossfire, though she is now recovering in hospital. In tonight's scenes, Jack marched over to Ravi's home after secretly planting the weapon there the previous evening. Pressing Jack for answers, Ravi suggested they dispose of the weapon together, but Ravi flat out refused. Later, he spun a false story to a doubtful Priya, who had threatened to walk out on him. "Jack shot Kat's daughter," Ravi declared. "I saw it happen. I overheard him chatting with that shady nephew of his. He handed the gun over, and since there were kids around, I thought it was risky. When I confronted him, the gun went off," he insisted. When Priya questioned why he hadn't gone to the authorities, Ravi replied, "He's the police. You remember what happened with Avani? You tried to complain, and they closed ranks. They always protect their own. So I've just been waiting, letting him sweat it out." The drama escalated in the closing moments, when Ravi and Jack came face to face on the street, and Ravi delivered some chilling threats. "Your little stunt earlier nearly destroyed my relationship," he warned. "So now it's £100,000 in cash, or I let the gun do the talking. If I go down for this, I'll make sure you're dragged down with me, Ravi, so think carefully," Jack shot back, though Ravi was already one move ahead. "Don't test me, Jack. You're the one who should be fearing a prison cell. So, what's your choice? Fans are now convinced the plot is heading into darker territory, with one of the two men possibly meeting a grim fate. Over on Reddit, a viewer admitted, "Honestly, I can see either Ravi or Jack being killed off before New Year's." Another fan replied, "If it comes down to them, it's got to be Ravi. Jack's been a staple on the show for nearly 2 decades. He's too well established, while Ravi isn't." A third added, "The problem is Jack has become dull. It's the same old routine, eating takeaways and doing police stuff. He hasn't had a proper standalone storyline in ages. I think Ravi will probably be the one to go, but part of me isn't sure I'd want that either." So where will this explosive storyline ultimately lead? New chapter for EastEnders Zach as he lands unexpected role after job axe. A brand new chapter is about to begin for Zach Hudson in EastEnders next week, as the character secures a fresh job opportunity following weeks of uncertainty. The chef has been left in a difficult position since Ravi Gulati was forced to shut down Walford East due to an unpaid tax bill. The closure meant Zach, who had been working in the restaurant's kitchen, was suddenly out of work and struggling to find stability. In recent scenes, Zach was even seen exploring the idea of stepping into the role of market inspector after Honey Mitchell walked away from the position, showing just how desperate he was to provide for his family. However, upcoming episodes will see Zach offered a lifeline when he is asked to return to a familiar role from his early days in Walford. Longtime viewers will remember that when Zach first arrived on the square in 2021, he began working at the Queen Vic during the height of his romance with Nancy Carter. And although the Carters' chapter at the iconic pub has since ended, Zach is about to head back behind the bar, this time thanks to new landlord Alfie Moon, who decides to give him a chance. With financial pressure mounting at home and the responsibility of supporting Whitney Dean and their daughter Dolly, Zach is unlikely to turn down the offer. Could this be the start of a steadier future for him, or will life at the Vic throw him into even more drama? With his income from Walford East gone, Zach Hudson is under pressure to provide for Whitney Dean and their young daughter Dolly. In forthcoming episodes, he is expected to seize the opportunity to return to the Queen Vic's kitchen, giving him some much-needed stability. The past few months have been incredibly turbulent for Zach. After the shocking revelation that Barney Mitchell is his son, he suffered a brutal attack at the hands of his mother, Nicola Mitchell, and was later kidnapped by Harry Mitchell, culminating in a near-fatal car crash that left fans fearing for his life. Reflecting on that heart-stopping stunt, actor James Farrar told Digital Spy, "It was epic, and I still watch it to this day. That doof scene was one of my favourites ever. It's definitely up there with the best moments in my acting career." Zach's return to the Vic comes at the same time as Michelle Ryan's return as Zoe Slater. Considering Zoe's complicated history with Zach's sister Sharon Watts, it seems inevitable that sparks will fly and drama will ignite across the square. EastEnders airs Mondays to Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. on BBC One, with episodes also available on BBC iPlayer.